proceed with private member statements. The member for Balcombe Hills.
Thank you, and as members of this House are no doubt aware, and I acknowledge in the chamber both my colleagues, the member for Parramatta and the member for Hawkesbury, and indeed the member for Riverstone, who share boundaries with my wonderful electorate in the Hills District. It's the Hills District which has a proud and quite frankly sensational history as one of Australia's earliest colonial settlements, as my colleagues will attest. Few districts can lay claim to as colourful history as the Hills. Most notably, this early convict heritage includes Australia's first armed uprising and battle, the 1804 Castle Hill Rebellion and Battle of Vinegar Hill between the British soldiers and the Irish Catholics. And might I just point out here that as a Scottish Protestant married to an Irish Catholic, there's the odd rebellion in Castle Hill that occurs every Friday night. Members would be aware that it is a real privilege to represent the history of the Hills District, particularly with its remarkable stories to tell. Given this history and heritage, is hardly surprising that Hills residents have such a great deal of affection for our local history. Since its establishment in 1967, the Hills District Historical Society has been a strong advocate for the preservation of our local heritage. The Hills District Historical Society has played an integral role in facilitating community awareness of the district's history. I am happy to report that due to the efforts of the Historical Society, interest in our local Hills history is in an unprecedented high, on the rise. The Hills District Historical Society conducts a wide range of activities, all focusing on the conservation of local historical knowledge and artefacts. The Society runs its own museum and archives, regularly hosts guest speakers, arranges educational displays around the Shire and facilitates tours of historical sites. It would be remiss of me not to mention the high calibre of the Society's museum in the Balcombe Heights estate in Balcombe Hills. I encourage all members to visit the museum on either the first or third Saturday of each month. May I just add to members that if you're out in the Hills District, we have a number of other historical sites. Bella Vista Farm, the Mean Fiddler, to name just a few. Rouse Hill House is another one that comes to mind. But as a matter of public importance, few things are as significant as understanding and remembering our past, especially at the local level. As a graduate of history, I understand that local history gives us an invaluable insight into what life was actually like for our forebears. And indeed, it is local history that has had the greatest impact on who we are today. Far too often, local history is overlooked throughout Australia, which is rather sad when you compare this apathy with the enthusiasm of local histories received abroad. The Hills District Historical Society, and all like it around Australia, should be commended for their commitment to the conservation of Australian local history. It is my firm belief that the Hills District Historical Society provides an excellent model to be emulated throughout New South Wales. It is with great pleasure that this week I attended, with the member for Castle Hill, the annual general meeting of this historical society. I wish to congratulate and commend Julie Graham on her unanimous re-election as president of our local society. I'm certain that under her leadership, the Society will continue to grow from strength to strength as an advocate for local history in the Hills. It is particularly interesting to note the unanimous consensus of the Historical Society's members that the Castle Hill Showground should be conserved during the construction of the North West Rail Link. This is a legitimate concern from the Historical Society, and as the member for Castle Hill and I know I'm joined by the member for Hawkesbury, fully support the Premier's commitment that he reassured the community in March this year when he visited, that the historic showground will not be disrupted.
Hear, hear.
Once again, it is with great pleasure that I congratulate the Hills District Historical Society and wish them every success in the promotion of history of the Hills into the future.
The House will now proceed with private member statements. Are there any statements? I call the Parliamentary Secretary.